All right, what is up everybody? Tanner back with another video. Today I'm going to be going over part one of my Toyota 4Runner transformation. I'm turning it into a camping vehicle, an off-roading king I like to call it, even though it's a white car that looks a little girly right now. I'll fix that, but come on over here. I want to show you guys what I'm doing to the back. So this is my part one because this is all, there's three major steps when I'm building this camping platform or the camping setup. And the first major step was simply building a platform. So I have some other videos I'll pop up on the screen, but I had a back row of seats. This is the Toyota, a 2019 Toyota 4Runner Limited. And I removed all the back seats. I took all the bolts out, did all that. I removed a lot of the plastic molding that was around here and removed this back seat besides this one. I ended up keeping this one, mainly for the reason that if I do want to have some passengers in my car, I'm not limiting my ability to do that. But the cool thing about this is I'm gonna have the bed right here, which I have a bed frame right behind you if you wanna look at that, which I'm building. It's not quite done yet. There's still, I gotta put some legs on it because I'm gonna elevate it in the bed a little bit. But anyways, this was my first major part. My car's a little messy right now. But anyways, all I did here is once I got to the guts of the car, basically underneath this, which again, I'll show you on the video here, there is just a metal platform, and I bolted two wooden posts and one right here to create a resting spot for the platform, and I screwed it in right there. And then I have a supporting post right here, and then another two supporting posts right here and here. And then my last piece that I haven't added because I still have to coat it with polyurethane to waterproof it is going to be an anchor plate with these long bolts that, these were the original bolts that bolted down the seats, and I replaced that with these longer bolts. And it's probably hard to explain, but I'm gonna put a piece of wood back here and bolt it in and then screw this board into the wood, because what I've noticed is that if I slid out on this platform, which I'm not gonna do it, but because I only have it anchored into the actual car right here, this platform kind of teeter-totters. And I think over time that'll cause some wear and tear on these screws, and I just have to bolt that side in. So all I did is I took a piece of plywood and covered it with polyurethane, 3 coats, because one thing I've read online, which is very important, and I didn't even think about it, but you gotta waterproof your components you're putting in here, because if you don't, you risk your breath, your exhales and everything from when you're sleeping can cause mold on the car or on the wooden spots. And I didn't want to risk that, so I did the polyurethane coatings on all of this. And same with the plywood. I did 3 coats on the plywood. So if I do have muddy boots or something in here, which as you can tell, I'm not going to be able to stand up much, so I probably won't get my footprints on it very much. But I think that that's something that's worth considering if you are going to do your own build. And I just gonna show you guys step by step what I did. So piece of plywood, screwed it down into here. I took some carpet before I screwed it down and staple gunned the carpet. I didn't glue it because you can tell it kind of moves. It moves a little bit. So if I would have glued that, it wouldn't move at all. But I wanted to have the ability to take the carpet off and replace it if I needed to. So that gave me the ability to do that. And then on the sides here, so I cut this board, I think if I remember correctly, it was 40 inches wide and then 41 inches long. So it's just about a perfect square. But I wanted to, I put these little pool noodles right here, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it there, but basically all that is, if I drop a phone or something in this crack, it's not gonna fall underneath this, because I honestly have no idea how I would get it out if it did. So there's some dead space around here that I'm gonna fix eventually, but the main part for this part one was just building the platform. It's kind of the boring part because you can't really do anything with a platform. Once I get the bed in there, it'll feel a little bit cooler. So part number 2 is gonna be about the bed and putting the bed in here and screwing the bed into it and building the mattress and pillows and the sleeping bags and all that fun stuff. And then part 3 is gonna be over here. So my bed pretty much cuts off about where the seat is. It cuts off right here. And then my plan is to have a battery bank that charges consistently right here. So the cool thing about 4Runners is there's outlets in the back, and I can take those outlets and charge my battery bank pretty much anytime if I'm driving for 4 hours, I can charge it for 4 hours, and I can use that for camping overnight or whatever it might be. And then I do want to have maybe some sort of solar panel that connects to the cooler or something right here. And then my goal is to build some sort of pull-out drawer or a table that sits up to here, and then right here it'll have This is part 3, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then it'll have a pull-out drawer that's going to come out, and I have 2 legs that'll drop down, and I'm going to have the ability to cook and do things in the back right here. That's the plan. That's going to be the hard part. The bed is pretty easy. I know what I'm going to do. Don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to figure it out. So anyways, that is my car build as of right now, part number 1. Again, this isn't the exciting part. There's going to be a final video once it is all done, showing every component and everything I've done to the car. And that'll be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun, but I also didn't want to ignore all the small steps it took to get to this point, because it's a lot of work. When you see these builds online, you see them do it in probably 10 minutes because they fast forward and they got all the tools. Well, I don't have all the tools. I don't have the skills, and I've had a lot of the polyurethane too. The weather's been limited for that because you got to wait till it's 60 degrees or above, and it's just coming out of winter where I live, so it's taken some time, and I got to wait for nice days to do any layers of that. But anyways, all in all, this is how it is. I'll show you guys around the car as well. This seat I'm gonna have probably just open. If I'm going on a trip, I'll put a backpack or something there, like a backpacking bag. I do have my little Marmot day pack. It's pretty much a go bag or a get home bag, whatever you want to call it. And it's got pretty much everything I need to camp in it. And it's got utensils and cookware and all that stuff. But I don't use that too much unless it's got a bunch of random stuff like toothbrushes and things that if I forget it, I don't want to be without it. So I got it there. Then this passenger seat is going to be completely open. I will, if I am alone, eventually when I'm driving, I'll give myself a lot more room, and I will be able to pull these seats all the way up. A little slow. I don't like automatic seats all that much, but it gives you a little bit more room back there, so it's going to feel a little bit more spacious. And besides that is the driver's seat. Nothing too exciting. The cool thing about this 4Runner that I'm really excited about, there's 3 features that I love. One is the sunroof. I can camp and I can open that up if it's a beautiful night, and I can sleep underneath the stars, have the open airflow, and that's a really big benefit to me. The idea that I have to prevent bugs from getting in is to have 4 magnets or 4 or 5 magnets and sew them into a bug net and just have them up there that I'll be able to magnet onto the car, and then it'll be able to create a bug net. So it probably won't be foolproof. It'll probably let a few mosquitoes through, but nothing too bad. And then the other big important thing for me is the fact that, which I'm not going to show you guys right now, but this back window, it actually rolls down. It rolls all the way down, and that is a huge benefit. When I saw that feature, I was like, 4Runner, absolutely. I love that. So that's going to be pretty cool, because if I am camping again, having that open airflow is kind of important. And anyways, that's my car. So come look at it from this angle. I think it's freaking awesome. Let me close this door real quick. It's a 2019 4Runner I bought it with like 94,000 miles, and definitely was a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to spend on it. But again, it's a 4Runner. It's got the reliability. 94,000 miles, in my opinion, is pretty much baby years for that. So this thing should go another 10, 15 years, hopefully. If it's anything like my truck, then it should go that long. So anyways, that's everything I have for you guys today. So I appreciate you guys as always. I'm here at a beautiful state park. Look behind me. It is absolutely beautiful out here. It's 5,000 acres of pretty wild terrain. There's not a whole lot of people that come here, so it feels pretty vacant a lot of times, and I like that. I prefer it. So anyways, thank you guys very much, and I will see you guys on the next video. So this is my first video, part 1 of 3. Look for the next 2, and hopefully I'll do a full walkthrough, which is going to be a 4th video at the end when everything is done, everything's in there, and I'm going to actually be camping. So anyways, thank you guys very much. So Tanner, peace out.